Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janvallabha Jaya Girivardhari
Jai Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Gopi Janvallabha Girivardhari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janvallabha Girivardhari
Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari Jai Gopi Janvallabha Jai Girivardhari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
जय राधा माधवम जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन जय गिरिवरधारी
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा
Hare Krishna. So, very warm welcome to all of you for today's session on the Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll start our session with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narottamam. देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So we discussed in our previous sessions, in the previous two sessions particularly, we discussed about Bhagavan Kapil. He is explaining to Mother Devahuti about different kinds of worshippers or different kinds of devotees. And Bhagavan Kapil, he described that according to the modes in which a person is born, and when he serves the Lord, influenced by those modes, then there are varieties of levels of devotional service which can be described. But predominantly, Bhagwan Kapil talks about, in the previous session we discussed, he described about the devotional service in mode of ignorance, devotional service in mode of passion. So Bhagwan Kapil describes that if a person serves the Lord, although he's engaged in devotional service to the Lord, but his characteristic is that he is always angry, envious, he does not respect anyone, and he has no good, I mean, materially, if these qualities are there, then such person's devotional service is considered to be in devotional service in mode of ignorance. Although he is engaged in devotional service to Krishna, but because of his qualities, the devotional service that he renders is in ignorance. So we we don't associate with such devotees. Although they are engaged in devotional service to Krishna and they will be gradually purified, but still we don't have to associate with such devotees. Then in the previous session, Bhagwan Kapil talks about devotional service in mode of passion. So what is devotional service in mode of passion? So when we engage in, when a person engages in devotional service to Krishna, but his desire, he may be worshipping the Lord in the temple, he may be engaged in worshipping the deities in the temple, and it may look like he is engaged in service to Krishna. If the goal is only to acquire cheap adoration and cheap name and fame in the name of devotional service, and Lord Krishna, Bhagwan Kapil also talks about bhin. Bhin means his desires are not in line with Krishna. So such devotional service is considered to be devotional service in mode of passion. Now today we will discuss some very, very important aspects of devotional service. So today's session is going to be very, very special because Bhagwan Kapil will talk about devotional service in mode of goodness and how actually we have to transcend even mode of goodness. So we'll begin our discussion today with text 10, Shloka number 10 of the 29th chapter of the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Karma nirhar uddishya parasmin vata darpanam yajed yashtavyamiti va पृथक भाव स सात्विक कर्म निर्हार मुद्दिश्य परस्मिन् वात दर्पणम यजेद यष्टव्यमिति वा पृथक भाव स सात्विक. Translation: when a devotee worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offers the results of his activities in order to free himself from the inebrities of fruitive activities, his devotion is in the mode of goodness. So in the previous sessions, we discussed about devotional service in mode of ignorance. And what is devotional service in mode of ignorance? When a devotee's desires are separated from the desires of Krishna, his desires are not in line with the Lord's desire, and along with that, he is envious, he is always angry, and if he has materially some unwanted qualities, then such devotional service is considered to be in mode of ignorance. Now, what is passion? So, in the previous session, Bhagwan Kapil described that the desires of the devotee is not in line with Krishna, and he performs devotional service in return for some name and fame or some other material benefits from the Lord. So such devotional service is considered to be in mode of passion. Now we are coming to the devotional service in mode of goodness. So what is that? Let us see. Karma nirharam uddishya. Karma nirharam. Karma nirharam means when the karma means actions and nirharam means affected by that. Okay. So karma nirharam means when a person is unaffected by karma, because we all know Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that every living entity within the whole creation, every living entity is affected by karma. Karma and the reactions of karma. Every living entity is influenced by or affected by karma and the reactions of karma. Okay. So now karma nirhara means, because you see, any activity that a person performs, because every action has a reaction. Even when we lift our hand, there is reaction. When we are breathing, even while breathing, there is reaction. Because breathing is also an action, and every action will have a reaction. So, is it possible to save ourselves from karma? No. Because every moment, because the constitution of the spirit soul, the symptom of the spirit soul is consciousness. And the symptom of consciousness is activity, isn't it? The symptom of spirit soul is consciousness. And the symptom of consciousness is what? Activity, isn't it? So, activity is the symptom of the soul. So, spirit soul can never be inactive. Spirit soul can never be inactive. What does it mean? That a living entity, till the spirit soul is within the body, we can never be inactive. Have you ever seen a living body inactive? No. Because the constitution of the spirit soul is activity. Activity is the symptom of the soul. So, if activity is the symptom of the soul, that means a living entity will always be active. And action means reaction. So, is it possible to save ourselves from reactions? No. So, then what is the solution? If we cannot save ourselves from reactions, then how will we save ourselves from so many karmic reactions? How will we go back to Krishna? Because you cannot go back to Krishna till there are reactions. Because still there are reactions, whether it is good or bad. Because every activity will have some reaction. Some activities will have good reaction, and some activities will have bad reactions. So for those activities because of which you have good reaction, you have to take a good body to enjoy. And for those activities which have bad reaction, you have to take a lower form of body or a bad body to suffer the punishment. So till there are reactions, we cannot get liberation. Because till there are reactions, you have to take up bodies to suffer or enjoy those reactions. So then this is a vicious circle, isn't it? Because activity is the symptom of the soul, so soul will always be active, and every action has a reaction, whether good or bad. So then what to do? How to save ourselves from actions and their reactions? So you see here in this shloka, Bhagavan Kapil is saying, Karma nirharam Karma nirharam uddishya. Uddishya means the purpose. or the destination or the the desire. So karma nirhara uddeshya, if the desire, if the purpose is to free ourselves from karmic reactions. Purpose means vanavarpanam. Asmin. Para means Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Vanavarpanam. Arpanam. Arpanam means to offer. So when the purpose of offering something to Krishna, when the purpose of offering something to Krishna is to save ourselves from karma nirvaram, that means to save ourselves from karmic reactions. Yajit yashtavyamitiva. Yajit means to worship. Okay. Yajit yashtavyamitiva. Yashtavya means worshipping the Lord, worshipping Krishna. Prithak bhava sasatvika. You see, prithak bhava, again this word comes, prithak bhava. Prithak bhava means the consciousness of the desire of that person is not in line with Krishna's desire. Right? So the desire of such a person is not in line with Krishna's desire. Because Krishna's desire is not to Krishna's desire is not to that first we commit sinful activities and then we offer results to Krishna so that we save ourselves from sinful activities. No, that is not Krishna's desire. That first you commit sin and then you offer things to Krishna to save yourself from sins. That is not Krishna's desire. So Prithak Bhava means such a person also, his desires are not in line with Krishna. Although his desire is to free himself from sinful reactions. And that is why he worships Krishna. That is why he offers his results to Krishna to save himself from sinful reactions. And there are different processes also in the Vedic scriptures where you can, if you perform a particular ritual, you'll free yourself from some particular reaction. But the problem is, how do we know how many and what kinds of reactions we have? Not only in this life, but even in the past lives, we have so many reactions. So that is why this, although here Bhagavan Kapil is saying that Prithak Bhavasa Satvika, such rendering of devotional service, such rendering of loving devotional service to Krishna. Of course, this is not loving devotional service, this is devotional service. About loving devotional service, we'll cover in the next shloka. So, here Bhagavan Kapil is saying that such devotional service in which a person is not in line with Krishna's desire, but he offers the results of his activities to save himself from karmic reactions, to save himself from karma. Why? Mumukshubhi parityago, because he wants to, mumukshubhi, he wants to free himself from karmic reactions so that he can get liberation. He wants to free himself from the cycle of birth and death. Right. So, even such a person, although here it is mentioned that Prithak Bhavasa Satvikam. Such devotional service is in mode of goodness. Still it is Prithak Bhava. It is not in line with Krishna's desire. Okay, all of you who are watching live, in the comment section, all of you mention three important aspects of devotional service which I mentioned in previous 2-3 sessions. Every session I'm mentioning. So all of you, those who are watching live, mention the three important aspects about bhakti, three qualities or three very, very important aspects of devotional service to Krishna. All of you mention in the comment section. I want to see how much you remember. Because last 2-3 sessions, in every session I have covered this. Three important aspects about bhakti. Yes, so Shyamarani Mataji has mentioned the first principle. Okay, yes. Second principle also. Yes, Nandapriya Mataji also mentioned. So, very good. So, all of you remember. So, the first principle is something is always better than nothing. That is the first principle. All of you remember. Something is better than nothing. Chanting is better than not chanting. Performing devotional service is better than not performing. Okay. Having prasadam is better than having some nonsense. Okay. So always remember, in bhakti, something is better than nothing. That is the first principle. And where this principle is derived? From Shloka number 2.40. Second chapter, Shloka number 40. Okay. Second chapter, Shloka number 40. So what is Lord Krishna saying in 40th Shloka of the second chapter? So Krishna says, नेहा विक्रम नाशोस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पम अप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. This first principle which I mentioned, where from it has come? It has come from the 40th shloka of the second chapter. And what is Krishna saying in the 40th shloka of the second chapter? That neha vikram nachosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. That Arjun, na iha avikram. In this endeavor, nachosti, there is no loss. Pratyavayo na vidyate, and there is no value of such service never diminishes. So even little service that we offer to Krishna, it is eternal. Right? So that is why the first principle is something is better than nothing. What is the second principle? The second principle is that in bhakti, no endeavor is a waste. No endeavor is a waste. This also has come from second chapter, 40th shloka. In that, Krishna talks about two things. Na iha vikram nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhaya. So Krishna talks about two things. Nashosti and pratyavayo. So nash means in bhakti there is no loss. That means whatever bhakti we perform, it will never go down. There is no loss. So that means no endeavor is a waste. And the value never diminishes means something is always better than nothing. Okay. So these two principles have come from second chapter, shloka number 40. Now what is the third principle? The third principle is the journey and destination both are same. Okay. When a person is not pure, he chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When a person becomes pure, what will he do? Same thing, he will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra only. When we are not pure, we perform bhakti to Krishna to become pure. When we become pure, what will we do? Same thing, we will perform bhakti to Krishna to give pleasure to Krishna. Right? So journey, when we are on the journey to when we are on journey to Krishna, what do we do? Bhakti. When we aim the destination, we go back to Goloka, what will we do? Same thing, bhakti. So journey and destination both are same in bhakti. There is no difference. So these are the three principles of bhakti. Then I also mentioned 6 principles of surrender. 6 principles of surrender. All of you, those who are watching live, in the comment section, write the first principle of surrender. I want to see how many of you remember the first principle of surrender. So there are 6 principles of surrender. Okay. That means 6 principles by which we know the level of surrenderance to Krishna. Okay. So all of you mentioned the first principle of surrenderance. Yes, very good. So Nandapriya Mataji has mentioned accept things favorable. Yes, very good. Abhijit Prabhu has also mentioned. Shamarani Mataji has also mentioned. So the first principle is only mention the first principle. Don't mention second principle. When I tell, then you mention. Okay. So the first principle is we accept everything which is favorable for my bhakti to Krishna. Okay. Accept things favorable for bhakti to Krishna. Then what is the second principle? Reject things unfavorable. Whatever is unfavorable for bhakti to Krishna, we reject. Anukulya se sankalpa, pratikulya se varjanam. Anukulya se sankalpa means whatever is anukul, whatever is favorable, I sankalp, I accept. Pratikula se varjanam, whatever is unfavorable, varjanam, I reject it. These are the first 2 principles. Now, all of you mention the third principle in the comment section. What is the third principle? Very important principle. So the third principle is yeah, very good. So Nandapriya Mataji and Shamarani Mataji has mentioned. The third principle is to be exclusively dependent on Krishna's mercy. To be exclusively dependent. Very good. Abhijit Prabhuji has also mentioned. To be exclusively dependent on Krishna's mercy. Okay. Now, what is the fourth principle? All of you mention in the comment section. The fourth principle. The fourth principle is let me see. Yes. So Shamarani Mataji has already mentioned. Nandapriya Mataji has mentioned. Accept Krishna as one's only maintainer. Tapaswini Mataji has also mentioned. Yeah, she mentioned the previous one. Yeah. So accept Krishna as one's only maintainer. That is the fourth principle. Now, what is the fifth principle? Fifth principle is the most important because in this shloka, that fifth principle, I will mention why Prithak Bhava means why Prithak Bhava is not good. because that depends on the fifth principle. So all of you mentioned the fifth principle of bhakti or surrenders to Krishna. Yes, so Nandapriya Mataji has mentioned. Very good. Having no other desire than the desire of the Lord. Having no other desire than the desire of Krishna. Whatever Krishna desires, I desire that. Okay. So, yeah, Geeta Hegde Mataji has also mentioned. Shamarani Mataji. Very good. Having no other desire than the desire of the Lord. Yes, Abhijit Prabhuji also. Very good, very good. So the fifth principle is having no other desire than the desire of the Lord. Now, what is the sixth principle? The last principle, the sixth principle of surrender. The sixth principle is, yes, very good. Sonanda Priya Mataji, Geeta Hegde Mataji. Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah. So sixth principle is to always remain meek and humble. The kingdom of God, in fact, it is mentioned, of course, in Vedic scriptures also, and yes, Shamarani Mataji has also mentioned. So in the Vedic scriptures also it is mentioned, and even in the Bible it is said that the kingdom of God is for the meek and humble. Tapaswini Mataji has also mentioned. Always remain meek and humble. Meek and humble means, now meek and humble does not mean that we start acting like an animal, because animals are also sometimes very meek and humble. No. Meek and humble means, what is the meaning of meek and humble? Meek and humble means to be like fire when we are engaged in service to Krishna. We should act like a lion. When it comes to Krishna service, we should act like a lion. Just like Maharaj Parikshit. When he saw that in his kingdom, cow is getting tortured, so he became very angry and he wanted to kill that miscreant. He wanted to kill Kali Purusha. But when he was cursed by a Brahmana, or when he was present in front of his guru, Shukdev Goswami, he was simply folding his hand and simply listening, hearing Krishna Katha. So, meek and humble means lion in the chase, but lame at home. That means lion in the chase means when we are offering service to Krishna, we should act like a lion. But in front of Guru and Krishna, we should just fold our hands and just know that everything is because of them and act in a very humble, in a very meek way, folding our hands, head down. Not very humble. So will we go back to Krishna? No. Right. So meek and humble means lion in the chase, but lame at home. That means when we are in service to Krishna, we should act like a lion. But when it comes to association of Vaishnavas, especially when it comes to Guru and Krishna, we are very, very humble and meek. We just like a grass. Okay. So that is the meaning of meek and humble. So the kingdom of God is for the meek and humble. So these are the six principles of surrender to Krishna. Now of them, the fifth principle is having no other desire than the desire of the Lord. That is the fifth principle. But here you see in this shloka, you can see on your screen, Bhagavan Kapil is saying, Prithak Bhavaha. Prithak means separated, and Bhava means consciousness or desire. So the desire of such a person, even if he is acting in Sattva Guna, even though he is acting in mode of goodness, but his desire is not in line with Krishna's desire. He has personal desires that I will offer things to Krishna so that I will be saved from karmic reactions. So he is performing devotional service but with desire. And desire is to free himself from sinful reactions. So it's better than not performing. It's better than not performing devotional service, but still, this is not pure devotional service. This is not unalloyed loving devotional service. This devotional service is contaminated with ulterior and ulterior, or you can say desire for selfish desire, basically. So even if a person comes to Krishna with a desire, that's okay. At least he's coming to Krishna. But the goal is to raise ourselves to the platform of pure, unalloyed bhakti, pure, untinged, unmotivated, causeless, unalloyed, loving devotional service. That is the goal. So what is, because till now we discussed in previous to previous session we discussed about devotional service in mode of ignorance. In the previous session we discussed about devotional service in mode of action, and now today we have discussed about devotional service in mode of goodness. But Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. Arjun, the goal is to rise above the three modes. So that means devotional service also must be performed transcendental to the three modes. So what is that devotional service? How we perform such devotional service? We'll cover in the next session. Next session is going to be very, very special, where we'll be covering devotional service in pure, unalloyed goodness, transcendental devotional service. So those who are new to this channel can subscribe. All of you can like, comment, share. We'll cover some very, very important aspects in the next session. Today's session will stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.